G'day mate, you were asking how to bend combs to get a better finish. Well, what you need to do is to work out what's going on in the first place, is that your ridges are coming mainly from either here or here. And why is it? It's because of the speed of the cutter and the way it works. So the cutter starts from over here. Any wool that's coming in here gets cut. Now from here on, the wool that's coming in has to wait for the cutter to go over to here and come back, and now it's going to start to cut it. By the time it's started to cut it, that much wool's flowed in, is that from here to here is chock-a-block full of wool, and it's starting to bend over down here because you've actually, the uncut wool is back here. So what's between here and here is actually bent over. So you cut it, and then what happens is it stands back up, and that's where your ridge is coming from. So the same thing happens on the top side, but let's just look at one side at a time. So the wool's coming in, so now it's cut. Now the wool starts coming in again, start coming in. So you can either do two things. You can extend this down to here, and that makes a difference. So get your round file and file that out and have a go at that, see what difference that makes, because it does make a difference. Because what you're doing is you're increasing the room here, you're increasing the amount of room here that the wool's got to come into. Or you can shift this here that way, or lessen this gap between here and here. If you lessen this gap between here and here, obviously no wool's, less amount of wool is going to come in. So in other words, you've cut that bit, and now because this is over here, the wool, instead of going in here, is going to come in here. And look what happens here is that we start here, we've cut that bit, come to here, cut that. It only has to go from there to there, and then it's coming back, and now it's cutting that again. So this is a good area for wool to be cut, because the cutter's often there, and it works in multiples of 3. So that's a good area. This here is a bad area because it cuts the wool, but look, it's got a fair way for it to go down. Unlike this, it's got a fair way for it to go down. So wool comes in, gets cut, and now whilst the cutter is going from here back to here, it's gathering wool in there. So that's another bad one, but these ones here are good, right? So anything with a G on it is good, 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 good. So what we want to do is, I'd start off by shifting that over to here, shift that slightly, increase this down 1 millimeter with your round file, just cut that back 1 millimeter, cut this back 1 millimeter over here, and definitely bend this one over. Don't bend it from here, bend it from right down here. Bend it right down here and shift it at least 1 mil, that one. This one here probably only needs to go 1/2 mil, bugger all, just a bit more thickness than what's on the tooth. Just push that over a bit and extend this down. And yeah, if you shear with your comb, with a full comb, like with a real full comb, then yeah, you really need some attention on the top side as well, because mainly that's where it's going to be coming from. Like on the long blow, it comes from here. The ridge comes from here. On the last side, the ridge mainly comes from here. So you want to fix up both of them. Shift this over a bit, and then if you want, you can shift this over, but then shift this over as well, then shift this over. So this, because this is your good one. That's a bad one. You don't want to overload that. Don't want to overload that, but this is a good one. We can overload this. So shift that over a bit and let a bit more wool into here. Mate, any more than that, I reckon I'll confuse fuck out of you. So, yeah, have a gander at that. Have fun. Cheers, bud.